I did not anticipate us being 1-4.
You're down 6-0. How do you not trot him out to kick a 49-yard field goal? It's shades of Martin Morningweg taking the win.
The real answer is I effed up, but he didn't want to say that. He wanted to be a weatherman all of a sudden.
I did not anticipate us being 1-4 going into the bye. I did not. I did not see that. So it was better on defense. Not saying it's good enough, but it's better. And so that's encouraging.
I was looking at you.
Pretty good, Dan Campbell. He did not expect 1-4, neither did I, but you know who did? This guy. 1-4, he called it at the break.
You have to have talent. You gotta have.
I told you.
You gotta have dudes on the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive side of the ball. You got some guys on the offensive side of the ball. That's why you've had some success in this season. But you just don't have those guys on defense, man. You don't have the Mike linebacker position. You don't have a guy on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. I know you played Charles Harris, but check it out. Charles Harris just isn't panning out right now. DBs have been outside of Jeff Okudah bad. For the most part, it's just tough sledding. All that grit, all that motivational knee slappers and all that kind of stuff, it sounds good, but when you're not winning games, then it's like, all right, I don't want to hear any more about this stuff. What's some X's and O's stuff? Yeah. What is the actual strategic plan? What are we going into the mindset of this game? Right. How are we going to attack the Dallas Cowboys in 2 weeks? Where are you going to implement some nuances, some things to get you guys going back on the right track? Because you guys started up, it's all about momentum. You guys had momentum from the draft. Then you get momentum, find out you had Hard Knocks. Then you get momentum through minicamp. Then we watch Hard Knocks. Then the first game of the season, you come out, you only lose by 3 to arguably the best team in the game. Then in the second week, you win. Lions are freaking 1-1 for the first time in Lord knows how long. And then you play a third game that we watched you give up. But that's where the momentum starts. We watched you give that game away in Minnesota. You know how huge that would have been to get a win in the division at Minnesota? Then you give up 14.
Changes the whole season.
Exactly. Then you give up 14 points. Then you come back and you let Geno Jackson or Lamar Smith, whatever one you want to call him, you let him have one of the.
You did there.
You let him have the best game of his career. Now he's riding high. It was the Seattle Seahawks. This is not the Seattle Seahawks from 2013, man. It's these Seahawks. And then you go to New England and you lose to a third-string quarterback who might be okay in the future, but not now. Yeah. And a team that had no offensive identity. Defense is just playing average all year. You lose to them on the road. The momentum that we have from draft is complete, or from draft to Hard Knocks to game 1 to game 2, it's completely gone. It's completely gone. So this is a pivotal bye week for the Detroit Lions to get back on track against the Cowboys, because they're not going to beat them. But it's just like we said about Michigan State and Ohio State. I just want to see you guys fight out pride and figure out some different things.
No doubt about that, man, especially when your number 1 pick hasn't played well the last couple of weeks. We'll just leave it at that.
But we know he can sing Michael Jackson, though.
Yeah, he can. I know that. That's great. Hopefully Josh Pascal will help him and be that double duo, that dynamic duo that Brad Holmes wanted to get. But I wanted to tell you about that 4th and 9. You're down 6-0. You're driving. It would have been a 49-yard field goal, maybe a 50-yard field goal at that point. You signed Michael Badgley to be your kicker. And from what I read in a couple of Lion Twitter accounts.
Curious about this.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
He didn't want to kick it at that point because they were facing the open end of the stadium. And he felt that it would not be as easy of a kick because of that. Now, from what I understand, the wind was not a factor. Nick Folk kicked 5 field goals. And we never saw Michael Badgley. I'm not even sure if we saw him on a kickoff. Because, like I said, I was driving from after the pregame, driving home, and then they were getting creamed, so I just went into the garage and listened to it. And I said, if Michael Badgley, if he wasn't hurt, how do you not trot him out to kick a 49-yard field goal in a 6-0 field goal? 6-0 game. It's shades of Martin Morningweg taking the win in Chicago.
Listen here. You are struggling being a head coach, which you actually do get paid for. Don't try to be a weatherman at the same time. Be a head coach. Oh, the wind, and it was open, and that's why we did it. You didn't do it because you made the wrong call. Now that comes in as, well, it's an open end, and the way the wind comes in the stadium on this side of Gillette, we knew that it'd be a little bit more push. The kick would be a little bit longer. Come on, man, save me all that. That's an answer that you came up with. So the real answer is I effed up. The real answer is I effed up. But he didn't want to say that. He wanted to be a weatherman all of a sudden.
Did they call a timeout there, by the way, or did they just go for it?
I don't recall.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I
But
do not recall.
call a damn timeout then. Discuss it with your entire staff, your players. Badgley, can you hit this? Yeah. Put me in.
Don't these kickers kick before the game?
Yeah.
Of course.
And all that
he
stuff.
probably saw him. Maybe he
kinda
missed a few.
Yeah.
He might have missed a few. But Justin Tucker missed 6 field goals in the pregame. And what's her name? Whoever the NBC
Trotted him out.
Whoever the NBC sideline
Salters?
reporter was
Melissa
asked him
Stark?
at the end of the game. Hey, you missed 6 field goals in pregame. Blah blah blah. How'd you feel about going in? He's like, lucky they don't keep stats in the pregame. That's what he said. Lucky they don't keep stats in the pregame.
Can we get this man $20 million a year? Like I'm talking about, this man has not missed a kick in the second half, and Lord knows how long. Had say he hasn't missed a kick in the fourth quarter in overtime. He's like, was it 59 and 60? No, he's 60 in a row. Like, just think about that for a second. We can't get a guy to make an extra point, but this guy has 60 field goals in a row in the second half, fourth quarter, and overtime.
You know what they said about his last game-winning
He's a
kick?
machine.
About Justin Tucker's game-winning kick. They said if there was a yard
I saw that.
and a yard on the sides here,
He
he would have
still
kicked
would've
it.
made it.
He would have kicked it right in the middle of those 2 yards in the goalpost.